This is Paul. Yeah. For all of you that have had this problem of somebody saying you're mentally ill, yes. Exactly how many of these mental health evaluations do you get? Now, for me, I was sending an email on Friday, June 16th of 2017 at 3:25. Yes. Somebody said I was in Brendan. I was cyber stalking. There's this whole question of proof of acknowledgement of the actual criminal complaint. Yeah. But more importantly, let's say that you have multiple mental health evaluations. And for me, I have multiple. Yes. I have the bipolar and schizophrenic, the full spectrum psychotic. And I have the persecutory delusional. Yeah. Because the Sequim Police Department didn't want to admit the evidence that I wasn't there. And I emailed you. Yes. And I emailed you. And I emailed you. And the thought was, well, we're going to do another mental health evaluation. Yes. We're going to give you another DSM mental illness. So that by the time I get to Western State Hospital, they're going to feel this compulsion. Yes. Friday, June 16, 2017 at 1:26 p.m. To prescribe a strength, yes, of psychotropic or psychotic that would imply that I have multiple bipolar, schizophrenic, and delusional tendencies. Yes, that would probably increase the actual strength of whatever psychotic or psychotropic that I'm having to have to take. Now, let's say you really wanted to use that assault with a deadly weapon. Pooch! And your thought is, well, the more of these mental health evaluations that we require of an individual, yes, the greater the amount of actual pharmaceutical is going to be prescribed. So you couldn't have used the 1077 from Clallam County. Yes. You couldn't say it was bipolar, schizophrenic. Yes. It wasn't applicable to the actual accusation of the crime of being in Jefferson County on June 16th of 2017. Yep. It wasn't good enough for the prescription that you wanted me to involuntarily have to have. Yes. There was a certain drug that you wanted me to be prescribed at the time that I got to Western State Hospital. Schizophrenic, multiple personalities, bipolar, depression, euphoria. Yes. Full spectrum psychotic. Let's see. Of each of the individuals that have gone, yes, to any of these evaluation facilities, yes, I have a book here that I think is somewhat relevant. Yes. The more of these 1077s you have, how does that affect the psychiatrist that is assigned to the individual? Yes. To make the judgment of what should be prescribed. You wanted me to have a certain drug. Something that would remove my brains. Yeah. Something that would dope me up. Something that would have the effect, yes, of removing my ability to think. Yes. And you needed another mental health evaluation to accomplish that. Well, there's a lawsuit in this. Jack, yes, might have gotten a copy of the 1077 from Clallam County. Yeah. And the first time that I appear in court on November 1st, he says you're having a 1077. Yeah. Why would I be having a 1077 when I already had a 1077? Why didn't you just say I was incompetent at the time of accusing me of the 2-count criminal complaint? Some reason why you didn't want to do that? Mental health care for adults and minor children. Chapter 4A. Washington Health Law Manual, Washington Society of Healthcare Attorneys. Yeah. Now, let's look here for just a second. 14 days of inpatient or 90 days of outpatient treatment. Yeah. 90 days of inpatient or outpatient treatment. 180 days of inpatient or outpatient treatment. Yes. Now, treatment with involuntary medication. Yeah. Involuntary antipsychotic medication. Yeah. Person 72-hour, 14-day, or 90-day, 180-day. Electroconvulsive therapy. Yes. Uh-huh. Somebody wanted to use shock treatment on me. Yeah. Now, just looking at it, having a second mental health evaluation. What did it actually accomplish? Ah! It would look like one of them, yes, that allowed for the incompetent to stand trial, yes, allowed me to continue to be homeless, yes. Two of them gave the state the right to involuntarily admit me to Western State Hospital, where you're going to use electroshock treatment. You're going to prescribe medication against my will, yes. Now, a mental disorder is any organic, mental, or emotional impairment. Yes. Which has substantial adverse effects on a person's cognitive or volitional functions. Yeah. It includes mental illness such as depression, schizophrenia, and bipolar. Look at, I had two of those. Yes. It also includes conditions such as dementia, developmental disabilities, and traumatic brain injury. Persons who are developmentally disabled, yeah, impaired by chronic alcoholism or drug abuse, or suffering from elements from dementia, yes, have a mental disorder, well, gravely disabled, yes. That must be me, yes. Means a condition in which a mental disorder has such serious effects, yeah, on a person that they are placed at risk of physical harm because they are unable to provide for their basic needs and because they experience severe deterioration, yes, in routine function and are unable to exercise, yes, cognitive or volitional control over their actions. You wanted to say I was gravely disabled? I live in a rented room because the police department refuses to enforce my rights as a renter. I live in a rented room because the police refuses to enforce my rights as the property of the deposit of $150 right now. I live in a rented room where there's no utilities right now. Gravely disabled. Oh. I wasn't there. You had to find me gravely disabled. Yes. RCW 71.05.040. Disorders such as developmental disabilities, drug abuse, dementia, support, detention, or commitment only if the condition caused the person to be gravely disabled. Now, let's say that I have two of these mental health evaluations. Yeah. And I think that the $100 billion lawsuit, gravely disabled. Every day I emailed you for years. Right. The sheriff, do I look gravely disabled to you? Yeah. Did you have to have another?